ahead to the Wiki Linking. So people who have worked in definitions will probably have seen this. You can relate definitions to other definitions in the text of the functional or even technical definition. You can also relate them from the sidebar. And in fact, relating objects to other objects is one of the key, although kind of taken for granted, value propositions of the cookbook. In this particular case, I got here a screenshot of a user hovering over the good academic standing definition and seeing some information that pops up in the tooltip. That's the the status, and that's the functional definition. You can also see that for academic term, a link exists, but in this particular account, that hasn't been created yet. And so that is visible in the list of missing definitions from your definitions menu. You can also, let's go to the next slide, Brenna. You can also force, so there's two ways to do these related definitions from within the text. One is with Wiki Linking, right? That's the double square brackets on either side of the word or the phrase. If you put that in there, the cookbook will automatically search to see if it finds a match, and if it does, that match is visible in the view mode and in hovering. And if it doesn't, right, like I said, it shows as a missing definition. The other way you can do this is there's a scan for matches button at the bottom of your functional definition when you are in edit mode, and it will scan and offer the option to accept those links throughout, and then it does this for you. So this has been part of the cookbook for ever, going way back. But Wiki Linking is in fact something that's occurring a few other places in the cookbook, and I thought people might want to know a bit more about it. So let's take a look at some other places you can see it. So first of all, the very same kind of feature set exists on the overview tab of a specification, right? You've got the purpose, you've got the description, you've got a couple of other text fields. As you are entering information in these fields, you can put your double brackets around your word or phrase, and the cookbook will do the same search to see if there is a related definition. So in this case, we've got academic programs used in our purpose statement. We put the double brackets around it, and we can see that the same sort of feature is available in the tooltip. You don't have a scan for matches option here, so this is a little bit more of a kind of in the know feature. But this is a really useful way, particularly, for example, if you have users like Lynn mentioned, right, who are sort of casual. They come into the cookbook, they land on the overview tab of the specification, and they have an option to see some of the key definitions that are part of the data that might be available. And you can see down below here in the description, we've also got 8 offer amount and 8 accept amount doing the same thing. Let's go to the next slide. This is probably, all right. And then collections, which are a feature we introduced more recently, only a couple years ago. A collection is a way to group specifications. And if you're working in collections, you actually have a number of different options for relating specifications and definitions to collections. The functionality tab of the collection allows you to choose from a drop-down list of your specifications. The sidebar allows you to use a similar drop-down feature for specifications and for definitions. And you can also do this manually. So in this case, right, we've got a formatted kind of paragraph here, and we're listing several specifications, and they work the same way with the Wiki Linking, with one small exception, which I think we have on the next slide. That's right. So it's a slightly different terminology, right? So collections are the only place where you can Wiki link to a specification like this, and you have to specify inside the double brackets the kind of object you're looking for. So if you have a field in a collection and you want to directly reference a definition, it's DEF colon, and then the name of the definition, and for specifications it's spec colon. And by the way, there is no space between the colon and the name of the object. So in your collection, which is designed to be kind of a high-level overview of a variety of data products, you can manage these direct references to definitions and specifications this way. And like I said, you can also do it out in your sidebars. And then there's a couple other places in the cookbook where this wiki linking has been introduced, right? So with the introduction of the data models as part of the Enterprise Edition features, you can link directly to an object that's imported, right? A column or a table or some other object. Here in a technical definition, there's actually two different ways to do it. So in the text of the technical definition, right, that link that says citizenship is actually a link to a column in a table in our data model. And then that visual tool there is a lineage. And that lineage is a way to represent, less textually the relationship to the data model object. Let's go to the next slide here. So you can do this, right, that's an example of what the link actually goes to. Let's go on a little further. Yeah, all right, and this is what this looks like. So in the data cookbook, when you're working with a data model as part of a technical definition, you can drag and drop, right? You can go to your data system and the model and the schema, and you can drag and drop and bring it into your technical definition or your lineage. If you want, you can also type that information in, right? You can see here we have the schema object, and then the object type, and then the model object type, so to speak. So you have three levels here. So, and this is what this looks like in edit mode after you've dragged and dropped. So you have a couple options. But this is a really useful way for people who are looking at technical documentation to go from the definition or specification mapping to see real detail. Brenda, do we have another slide about this on the? No, okay, so that was it on the wiki linking. We don't have a picture of it, but wiki linking is also part of the data model setup when you're on the mapping tab of a specification, and it works a lot like the way it does inside a lineage. So that is that. Data applications are something that were introduced, I can't remember now if they were part of the initial rollout of the Enterprise Edition or if they've come along. They are a way to provide a little bit more nuance to documentation around data systems, right? So you might have multiple data systems that corresponds to just one application. Application is more of the software. Well, in addition to using that application to usually I think the goal is for end users to understand a little bit better, because they might know the tool name but not the back-end name, or potentially the other way around. You can add a logo to these. Actually, you can add two different kind of logos. One is called a banner image and one is called a logo image. This is just a quick shot of what this looks like from browse view. So I think we're looking at the banner image. The logo image is what you would see if you drilled into, for example, a data system that was related to one of these applications. And you would also see that if you were looking at technical information in the cookbook that references back to the data system and data application combination.
Hey, Aaron, it's actually the other way around. Just to it's the logo is like the icon, the little icon that's next to the text when you're kind of seeing it in other places. When actually looking at the data system, you see the banner, like a wide horizontal header on the data system.
Oh, okay.
That banner is used.
All right, thanks, Brian.
No problem. So the logo is an icon.
And one other little feature that was actually not that little to build, that it might be of interest to folks. There are some in-application metrics that are available to you right now. If you have them enabled, you'll see one on your home tab when you log in, and then if you click on the link to the metrics, you'll see these four that you've got a snapshot of here, right? They're designed to help managers and governance professionals sort of capture the quantity of activity that's going on right now. We are happy to share this with everybody, right? This is an opt-in sort of setup, but every client can have these turned on. And then every user has the ability to store some preferences around what they see. So you might, for example, not want to see all of the definitions for your entire institution. You might only want to see the definitions for one or a few functional areas that are important to you. So that is that's a piece that's available. And then, you know, once you change your preference, it's stored. Of course, you can always change it again. And then on the fly, as you're looking at something, you can change your filters.